out three things, and one of the things that Dame Dash actually lied about and misled our youth, our children, misled all of us about.
DJ Bandana.
Hey, yo, what's good, my Bandana fam? Shouts out to the squad. Make sure you like this video, like this video, like this video. Hey, yo, real quick, I just want to say this also. Make sure you hit that notification bell. A lot of people saying that they've been missing the videos and all that is because you haven't hit that notification bell. Hit that little bell right there where it says notification. Hit all notifications. Like I said, I'm not going to spam you. You know, I don't drop 1,000 videos a day like some of these other YouTubers. You don't have to worry about all type of notifications going off. I might, at the most, do 4 videos a day, spread it out. But anyways, make sure you hit that subscription bell. We got to talk about something important today. And what we got to talk about right now, I wanted y'all to see my face for the beginning part of this, just so y'all can tell that I'm keeping it 100 with the situation. Before we even get into that too, my last video, I was saying how people was ducking me in Xbox Live. And if you wanted to play me on Xbox Live, gamer tag Bandana716, I would play you. And if you beat me, then I would shout you out on the next video. Unfortunately, I lost pretty bad in Madden the other day to, I believe his name is Jay Savage. Shout out to Jay Savage, one of the Bandana fams. They beat me like 120 to like 7 with the Buffalo Bills. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm slightly embarrassed, but I'm a man of my word, so I said it. Shouts out to Jay Savage. We definitely got to get that rematch. But anyways, we got to get into this Dame Dash situation because Dame Dash lied. Dame Dash is not giving us the full story, or he actually gave us a full story. I don't think a lot of y'all actually paid attention to it. Just the parts that he wants y'all to pay attention to, because he has a motive, he has a goal of what he's trying to do. And no disrespect to Dame Dash either, because the reason why I want y'all to see my face, I want to say this: I respect Dame Dash, I respect Funkmaster Flex, I respect Lear Cohen. Dame Dash has helped me in my career without even knowing it. I don't know if you guys remember the Ultimate Hustler TV show. In that Ultimate Hustler TV show, Dame Dash was saying something about branding. He was saying like he doesn't come outside the house unless he has something that he owns, whether it's Rockaware, Rockefeller Chain, Pro-Keds. Even though I don't think he well, we didn't even get into that. But anyways, it helped me out in my career as far as branding. I really took that to heart. And if you look at my Instagram, you look at my social media, even if you listen to these videos, every time you hear this video, what do you hear in the beginning of the video? DJ Bandana. You hear DJ Khaled saying DJ Bandana. If you look at me when I go DJ, I'm going to show y'all one of my records, right? Just so I can show y'all respect Dame Dash. If you look at my DJ record, I keep my bag with me. What is that right there? That's the logo on my DJ record. On every fitted that I have, every hat that I have, what does it say? Bandana. That's not a Buffalo Bills joint. My book bag, bandana print. If you look at, what else do I have in here? I don't got my headphones, but if you look at my headphones has the same logo. The back of my laptop has the same logo and all that. I really took that to heart. Now, it really actually has worked for me in business. So a lot of what Dame Dash is saying is actually helpful and truthful, but with what he's portraying to us right now, there's 3 things that I actually wrote down that we're going to talk about today. But I just wanted y'all to see my face on this one because I'm being 100% transparent. Like I said, this doesn't come off as hate, but I just want to give y'all the full story about Dame Dash. Okay, so we all know he's been beefing with Funkmaster Flex and Lear Cohen and everybody else and all that. And this kind of not started from the Breakfast Club interview, but a lot of the stuff traveled from the Breakfast Club interview. And I just want to point out a couple things that you might not have noticed. I can't play clips of that actual interview because Breakfast Club and iHeartMedia, they don't be playing about that copyright stuff. They will strike your channel down. I'm talking about like they will take money you ain't even make yet off of your video. But I know y'all watched that interview like that too. So I just want to point out 3 things. And one of the things that Dame Dash actually lied about and misled our youth, our children, misled all of us about. In the beginning part of the interview, the guy that was sitting to the left of him, Daniel, he played in the movie that he had, Too Honorable, like that. By the way, check out Dame Dash movie, Too Honorable. Like I said, respect, salute to him. So one of the things that he said was, you never compromise. You wouldn't do anything. He made an example, and I don't know word for word, but he was basically saying like Daniel taught him, and being a Harlem dude, you wouldn't do something for money that your goals, what you stand for, goes against. So that's number 1, right? So Dame Dash said it out of his own mouth. He wouldn't do things for money it don't make a difference how much money is worth. If it goes against his principles and what he believes in, then he wouldn't do it. So explain to me this one thing. This is the point 1. If he felt the same way that he felt about Lear Cohen and the culture vultures and all that stuff back then, why did he still go in business with them? Why did he still sign a deal with Def Jam? Why did he re-sign a deal with Def Jam? Why did he continue to do business with them, continue to go on tour with them? If money is not going to make you compromise, like you said, you had those same feelings about these guys back then. You had the same exact feelings, saying they were culture vultures. They're not part of our culture. They just get money in hip hop, which I disagree with. But we're gonna talk about that a little bit later on in the video. They're not from hip hop. Why they can't get money in their own culture? Blah 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 blah. Why did you help them get money in what you call our culture? Then that's point number one. Point number two, and this is the thing that kind of bothered me when he was talking to DJ Envy in that interview. Even with, you know what, scratch the DJ Envy interview. We're gonna talk about something more recent. Number two, when he was talking to Funkmaster Flex, and they were going back and forth, he was telling Flex how you're not a boss, you work for somebody else, you've been in the same position forever, and everybody's like, yeah, Flex been in the same position forever. He been a DJ forever. There's nothing wrong with that, Dame Dash. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Right now, honest to God, I've been on Power 93.7 WBOK before it was even Power 93.7 WBOK. Back when it was #1 for hip hop and R&B for 14 years, right? I've been 14 years as a radio personality and as a DJ, right? If they offered me the boss's position right now for $100,000 a year, I wouldn't do it. You know why, Dame Dash? You know why I wouldn't do it? Because the same thing that DJ Envy told you and the same thing that Funk Flex is saying and the same thing that a lot of people say, we enjoy doing it. I don't want to be the boss of the radio station. Funkmaster Flex might not want to be the programming director or the boss of Hot 97. He's a millionaire off of what he loves to do. The same way when you were in the music business and you were getting money and people was respecting you and you were getting deals and stuff like that too, you were doing what you wanted to do. Nobody said, okay, well, don't partner with Def Jam. Use your own money and do your own distribution. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? Well, yeah, it sounds stupid to us too also. And I'm just speaking for this for all the people who may not have a voice, who may not have a channel, who can't say these things. So when he was basically saying in the interview with DJ Envy, basically he called him basically a sucker for having a boss. When technically, if you were in business with Def Jam and you were in business with ProCads, and you were in business with Army Del Vaca, all these companies are no longer in business with you now. I mean, you can't, not saying you worked for them, but you worked with them. You basically had a boss. They can say yes or no on some things too. Contrary to what you're actually telling us, that's just how business actually works. Def Jam could have said no. Def Jam could have said we're not putting out this project. Def Jam could have said no, we're not putting out this money of budgeting or whatever else like that too. That's just kind of how business works. So one of the things that he was saying in that interview was like, this is the part where he misled. He misled people when he lied. This is the part where he lies. Point number two, this is where he lied. Where he was saying basically like, you don't need anybody to do anything or like that. Just get a t-shirt and then you flip that t-shirt and then you flip that t-shirt and you take that money and you invest it into this and you invest it into that. When you didn't do that, Dame Dash, even if you listen to what Dame Dash actually said, he didn't do that himself. He left out the whole part of where that initial money came from. And I'm not snitching because he said it himself. Where that initial money that they had to start Rockefeller to go put money into these different things, where that came from. He didn't just wake up one day and snap his fingers and have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to be able to invest into putting their own money up. That money had to come from somewhere. So I'll tell you like this. So totally unrelated to that. If I need money to invest in something, I have an option, right? I can sell drugs and take my hustle money, which is fast money and a lot of money, and put that into something. And he respects that. Or I can work my 9 to 5. I can have my regular job that I'm always at and invest that money into doing other things where I can be a boss of my own thing. You don't just wake up as a boss. So that's where he actually lied at. He left that whole part of the conversation out. Go back and listen to that interview. Dame Dash left that whole part of the conversation out. He didn't say where he got that initial money to start all of this stuff from. And that's kind of misleading because to him, he's just making it seem like, oh, well, you just get a t-shirt and you flip a t-shirt, and you take that money from that t-shirt and you flip that t-shirt and you're good. You can start your own record label. No, you didn't do that. That didn't work for you. You didn't do that. You got money. Y'all know the story about that part of it. That's one of the things that kind of bothered me about that whole interview with Dame Dash. Like I said, I respect him like that too. To piggyback on that, on the number 2 point with like that, with Lear Cohen and all of them. The reason why I say he was wrong about the Lear Cohen thing, because it's a business. Like, so if you're going to say Lear Cohen is wrong for getting money in hip hop, but that's not part of his culture, then you also need to boycott. And it's just an example. I don't have a problem with any of this. Look at 90% of the people who buy food from the Chinese stores that's in our neighborhood. Are they part of our culture? So when I call Kim's Kitchen and Kim pick up the phone and tell me 10 minutes from our order, should we be boycotting her because she's making money off of our culture and she's not giving anything back to the culture and she's not a part of our culture? Or is it just people who you want to be in business with, Dame Dash, or people who you want a conversation with? And to answer Dame Dash's question, I know a lot of you guys were like campaigning for Dame Dash, like, yeah, Dame, we 100% believe you and we're behind you. They owe you a conversation. Funkmaster Flex should sit down with you. Lyric Core should sit down with you. Why? It doesn't benefit them. It benefits you, but you want us to rally behind you to do that. Just be truthful. Just say it. Say, Dame, if you just came out and said, you know what? I had Rockefeller Records, had all this other stuff, hundreds of millions of dollars, and today is a new day, and I'm trying to get back into the game, and I need these people to have a conversation with me just so the people who follow me can have a better understanding or whatever like that. Just be honest about it. They don't owe you anything. You're not, and it's not a shot at Dame, but you're not, I don't want to say respected. Y'all understand, like, this is from my heart. I'm not trying to be harsh with this. I'll just say it the way that I can say it and explain it. Hopefully y'all get it. Dame Dash, you're not as respected as you were back then in the Rockefeller days. So back when Rockefeller was popping and you had actually stuff that people needed, which was Jay-Z, Beanie Siegel, State Property, Cameron and all of them, people would take a meeting with you. I'm pretty sure Funkmaster Flex and them would take a meeting with you. But when you went years of pissing people off and screaming on people, right or wrong, whether you're right or wrong, now they don't need to. They don't. Back then they needed to do that because they needed to have a relationship with Jay-Z. They needed to have a relationship with Rockefeller. They don't need to have a relationship with anything that you have really going on right now in our culture. Because what are you doing in our culture right now that they need to do that for? So no, Funkmaster Flex, it would be nice if he does. Funkmaster Flex doesn't owe you a conversation. He doesn't need to sit down with you. If you want to, yeah. If not, then it's cool. Realistically speaking, in today's society, as far as respect, status, and all that, Funkmaster Flex is here and Dame Dash is here. And I'm not being funny. I'm just saying realistically. Realistically right now, if let's just say, who can we say? Nicki Minaj. If somebody wanted an interview with Nicki Minaj and it was Funkmaster Flex and Dame Dash in 2018, who do you think she's going to go to? And with Dame Dash preaching this, oh, we need to support each other. We need to, we need to really support our own black people and our own culture and all that. If you look at Dame Dash's posts, if you look at all his renting and all that, and all the people that he wanted to have a conversation with, where he wanted to have a conversation with, these were all rich white people. These were all companies. He said, well, we can go to radio, we can do it live, blah, 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 whatever like that too. These are all companies not owned by black people. Why you ain't hit up, and I seen this too, shout out to Gully TV too, he actually commented that, and I was thinking the same thing, but it kind of sparked something in me. I was like, you know what, he is right. Why he ain't hit up Gully TV for the interview? Black blogger. Why ain't hit up Bandana Black? Why ain't hit up Diamonds Live? Why ain't hit up BBN Network? Why he ain't hit up Real Talk Media? Why he ain't hit up people that's in our culture that we need to stick together and do these things together? Why you want to do it with these big people? Huh? Huh, Dame? Huh? I mean, this is seriously what's going on, and like they really support and really back him. Like I said, you shouldn't. I'm not saying don't back like that, but know the full story. Like Dame has a motive in this. He wants to. He said it. Look at that same interview, the Breakfast Club interview. We coming back for music. We coming back for fashion. We coming back for all of this. Which is a couple years ago, he said, "No, I'm done with music. I got bored. I already did that. I'm going to do art." That wasn't really technically part of our culture when you got the joint and Tribeca and these $1 million like studios like that. That wasn't part of our culture. You were trying to get money in a different culture, the same thing that they doing. At the end of the day, it's a business. Like in business, it doesn't make a difference what color, what culture, anything else like that. Now, in the true form of hip hop, if we're just talking about rap, hip hop culture, yeah. But if we're talking about the hip hop business, it could be a Chinese man who owns a all black hip hop label. Who cares? That's his business. I can open up a Chinese restaurant. If it's successful, who cares? The number 3 thing that the reason why Dame Dash I think is wrong also too, when he was kind of stunting on Funkmaster Flex, right? And I'm not gonna give him wrong because he's defending himself, but remember when Funkmaster Flex posted like their net worth, and Funkmaster Flex was worth like 10 million and Dame Dash was worth like 2 million. I don't know how accurate that is, but let's just say it is accurate like that. Dame Dash came back and said, well, I'm the CEO of all of these companies. I own 100% of these companies like that. And when he was kind of basically like dogging DJ Envy in the interview also saying, well, I own 100% of these companies. You got a boss, whatever else like that. You got a boss, you a sucker. What type of man has a boss like that? Let me ask you something, right? Bandana fan, let me ask you this question, right? Would you rather be a CEO, owner of 10 companies that have your name, 10 companies that have your name, you own 100% of them, but they're bankrupt, They're out of business. They're non-profitable, and you're not making that much money off of them? Or would you rather take a job that you actually enjoy, making quadruple that amount of money? Now, I understand this whole own your own thing, everything like that too, but me speaking, and right or wrong, it's just my opinion, I'd rather work doing something I love, take that money and invest into something that's going to bring me back a better return, that's going to be better for my family. Unless those 10 companies that I'm bragging about is actually making that same amount of money, and I could do that. And realistically speaking, Dame, and this is the other thing that you kind of lied about, and I kind of try to look at it a bunch of different ways, but just the way that you were talking in that interview was, everybody can't be a boss. It's impossible. In that same interview when he said nobody, they're all equal, nobody's a boss, he also said at the beginning of that video, I think it was around the 11-minute, look at the 11-minute mark from like 11 minutes to 12 minutes in that Breakfast Club interview. He said, I've always been the boss. So have you always been the boss, or have y'all always been partners, always been equal? Because realistically, that's impossible. If I take my money, right, say if I work the next 15 years DJing and I open up a business, I'm not opening up that business and just picking 5 of my friends saying, you know what, we all equal partners in this. No, because for the last 15 years, y'all could have did the same thing. When y'all was buying Jordans and Reggie and having babies and popping bottles and all that, I was out here struggling doing YouTube. I was out here doing my DJ thing. I was out here working a 9 to 5, having the embarrassment of having to be able to call somebody my boss, whatever like that, to do these things. So no, I'm not going to do that. Will I help you and say, hey, you can come work for my company and you can be a manager at one of my companies and I'll show you how to do it yourself, where maybe 2-3 years from now I'll show you how to manage your money, you can do it yourself? Yeah, but it's realistically stupid to say that everybody can be a boss. At the end of the day, everybody can't be a boss. Somebody got to work. That's just the reality of it. So Dame saying everybody can be a boss? No, you can't. It's impossible for everybody to be a boss. Yes, I understand the mindset of you should want to be a boss and you should want to be the owner, everything like that too. But that's even false too. That's a lie. Like I said, I love my job as a DJ on 93.7 WBOK. Saturday nights, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Quick plug right there. But if they offer me the position as the boss of the station or even the programming director, I would say no, because it's not what I would enjoy. I wouldn't enjoy having to send out all these music lists to all the other DJs, checking time slots and programming and all that. No, I want to go into the radio station, talk my talk, play my music, do what I do, enjoy what I want to enjoy. That's just the reality of it. So you can't really dog people or down people for doing that, especially when you didn't start off that way. And the number 3 thing, as far as like with the Lear Cohen situation like that too, Dame, you made a lot of money with Lear Cohen. You made Lear Cohen a lot of money. If he's a culture vulture, you're accessory to culture vulturing because you helped put him in that position. A lot of those people who messed with Lear Cohen was because of how successful he got because of the business that y'all did together, who signed to Def Jam, who did those things. So I don't really think it's culture vulture. It's called business. It don't make a difference. He don't have to be a part of the culture. He don't have to like hip-hop music. Right now, if my state, a lot of the music that I have to play on, like say if I go DJ a club, right? Somebody paid me $400 or $500 to DJ a club, right? Damn, did I just give away my fee? Yeah, $400 or $500 to DJ a club, right? In Buffalo, we're a smaller city, so it might not be as much as your city. So say $450. Somebody paid me $450 to DJ a club. 90% of the music that I have to play in that club, because for those 4 hours, the person that's paying me is my boss. Even though I'm a freelance, I'm a boss of my own Bandana Entertainment. I'm the boss of DJ Bandana Black. If you're paying me $450 to DJ your club, 90% of the music that I have to play in that club, I absolutely hate. I wouldn't listen to in my spare time. I got to play all this mumbo and jumbo and all this. Even sometimes it's not mumbo jumbo that I personally don't like, I have to play it because that's who's paying me to do it, Dang. And you got to just be realistic. Give people the full story. So as far as the situation with him and Funkmaster Flex, I don't think Flex owes him a conversation. No. I don't think Flex should be ashamed for having the same job. What he also missed out too is Flex has damn near been #1 in that position for all those years. It's not like he had the same job and he like slipped in ratings and he's like number 10 or something like that. Flex is still like the #1 slot like in the country for that show. If we look at those companies that Dame Dash actually like listed himself, Google those companies right now and look at them compared to other companies and see whether those companies are #1 or the income that it generates. And I know you're going to say, well, Dame Dash said you shouldn't talk about other people's money. You shouldn't talk about other people's pockets. Real men wouldn't ask those questions. Real men wouldn't answer them. In that same interview, he talked about other people's money. He talked about Spike Lee, how Spike Lee wouldn't give him a conversation and help him along because they said he was arrogant in the way that he talked to people, whatever like that too. And you talked about how he has a boss and you fund everything yourself too. But let me ask you this, right? So say Spike Lee has a boss, right? Spike Lee has a boss. He has to go borrow money from somebody. He puts out a movie and makes $20 million. So say he got $20 million off of that movie to put in the bank, save for his kids and all that. And you, because you're bragging about you putting your own money up on that. Now, mind you wanted help from this man that you just dogged. You put your money into it. Say you put $1 million into a movie and it makes 1.5. Let's say it makes $2 million. 2018, what's best for your kids? $2 million, $20 million. At the end of the day, I think it's pride. I think a lot of the reasoning why Dame is stuck in the mental state that he's in is because it's really just pride. Like, he took respect for fear. Back then, when Dame Dash was real powerful and like that too, a lot of it was out of fear. People feared that if they didn't answer his call or answer his meeting, then the relationship they have with his artists or his companies or their job and their life would be at stake. Right now, nobody really technically needs Dame. And I'm not hating on him. Like I say, he's helped a lot of people. Honestly, if it wasn't for Dame Dash, as far as my branding, like I said, I never even had a conversation with him. Just watching what he did on that show, my branding alone would not be where it's at right now. I probably wouldn't be where I'm at right now as far as branding and knowing to even hit up a DJ Khaled for him to put that DJ Bandana Black drop for me. And that was back in MySpace days. That was years ago. I might not even thought like that unless I seen Dame do that. But Dame, you got to give the full story. You got to look at it realistically. Nobody owes you anything, bro. Nobody owes you a conversation. Lyric Cohen is not a culture vulture. And I understand, well, he signs artists and he doesn't help them get off of drugs. Okay, that's not his job. He signed them to do music. Would it be nice if he did it? Yes. You had an artist that was on drugs also. Beanie Siegel rapped about drinking lean like that. And shout out to Beanie Siegel. I rock with them. I rock with everybody. I rock with Dame too, but you had the same thing. Did you stop them and force them to do it? No, the same way he might talk to them, but he can't force them. At the end of the day, if he hired you to do a job, as long as you're doing that job and he doing his part, that's all that he owe you. He don't owe you a conversation. He don't owe you an explanation. He don't owe you any of that. And when we talk about the type of deals and stuff that he was signing, a lot of people kind of hate on a 360 deal. A 360 deal is not bad. You know why, realistically, why they had a 360 deal? I know a lot of times y'all say, well, artists want to take, labels just want to take all the money from artists and sign them to a 360 deal. They want to take everything. According to Dame, you could just go get a T-shirt. No, my bad for that slight interruption. Like I said, I'm on lunch break right now, but we're going to continue the conversation. So back to the 360 deal. Like, according to Dame Dash, you don't need a 360 deal. You could just go get a T-shirt, flip the T-shirt, start your own label, start your own distribution company. Boom, you got $30,000, $40,000. You good to go. No, the reason why a 360 deal was created, like I said, I know a lot of you guys say, well, they're just trying to take money from the artists. They just trying to control everything like that too. The #1 goal of a business is profit, to make the most profit that you can. So say, for example, and you know me, I love my people. I'm a supporter of independent artists and all that. When I started Bandana Entertainment, I legally owned Bandana Entertainment. I didn't wake up one day and say, you know what? Well, everybody else was hustling. Everybody else was getting all this money. Everybody else was buying Jordans and all that stuff too. You know what? I saved my money and I stacked it and I built my brand and all that. You know what? So since they all did that, you know what? Let me put all my hard work and all my money into Bandana Entertainment because I just want to make everybody else rich. No. So these labels aren't doing the same thing. They didn't start the label to make the artists rich. They started the label to make themselves rich. And part of doing business is you want to put out as least amount of money to make the most amount of money. So back to the reason of why a 360 deal started. With the rise of the internet and Spotify and Apple Music and all that, the actual physical CD sales has started declining. So that's where labels were making the majority of their money, was from CD sales. Now it's going to be streaming. Now it's going to be merchandise. Now it's going to be touring and different things like that too. So to sign an artist, say if they right in the transition of CDs to internet like that, a lot of labels went bankrupt. If you look, a lot of labels were bought by other labels. A lot of them had mergers because they were losing money, because the amount of money they were getting back from CD sales wasn't a lot, and they weren't getting the money from merchandising and everything like that too. So they had to go back to the drawing board and say, you know what, we can't afford to do this. What can we do to ensure that we're going to make a profit also? So what do? They say, you know what, we'll sign you, we'll give you the money, and we'll promote you, but we're going to need a percentage of everything. Now, this is a part of the game that you might not know. Like, I've been in the industry for a long time, maybe 16, 17 years, and I've researched a lot of this. And I know a lot of times you guys just follow what you hear from Dame Dash or other people on YouTube or internet like that too. With a 360 deal, you actually going to get more promotion from the label. Because look at it like this. If a label signs you and they're only getting money from your CD sales, they're only going to promote the CD. the most. If they sign you to a 360 deal where they get money from touring, money from you being in movies, merchandise and all that, you know what that label is going to do? Make sure that they call people to try to get you in movies. Make sure they try to get you in a endorsement deal with Nike or Budweiser or whatever like that too. So yes, you are going to have to give them a percentage of everything, but you're going to make more. So again, I asked you about the money that Flex had, the money that Dame Dash had, and the business and all that too. Let me ask you this, right? Would you rather be independent and own your own and have 100% of your music that makes $5,000 a year? So you can have 100% of your music that makes $5,000 a year doing it yourself, or signed to a label who can help you with the promotion and make things a little bit quicker, and now you own 60% of 30 million. If we're talking about money, we're talking about business. We're not just talking about the pure hip hop, the hip to the hop, and all that, just the purest hip hop and rap like that. We're talking about hip hop music business. That's all that I'm saying. And again, no disrespect to Dame, but I just want to clear that up. It's something that was bothering me, and I see a lot of people just taking Dame's side. Now, I'm not taking a side either way. Dame made some good points. He just didn't fully explain it. He didn't really show what his motive was. He didn't really show how he started things. He just made it seem like, oh, you could just do it. If you get a boss, you a sucker. Funkmaster Flex made some great points also. He basically said, okay, I had the same job, but I'm worth 10 times as much more to you, and I'm having fun doing what I'm doing. Lear Cohen made some good points too, when he was just like, I don't even know who Dame Dash is. And honestly, at this point, if I was Lear Cohen, I was making that much money, and you're not in a position of power right now, because like I said, back then, it really wasn't respect, it really wasn't power. A lot of it was out of fear. They don't need to have a conversation with you. I would do the same thing. Like, what? Who's Dame Dash? Who's this guy? I don't know what he's talking about. I'm worth $100 million. Who is this guy? He's not in my tax bracket. He can style too. Anyways, DJ Bandana Black, Mr. Well Connected, even more respected. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button. Listen, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get the notifications. We got some dope things coming up too. Got some giveaways and everything coming up too. Keep it locked. It's DJ Bandana Black. Remember, life's what you make it, so make it. I'm out.
DJ Bandana.